I had someone in my comments make the point that PeerTube is full of some pretty awful conspiracy and right-wing videos. Let's just say that unfortunately that is par for the course. The new PeerTube 3.0 is kind of a mess and just finding its feet. You see, for the longest time, the PeerTube nodes were quite disconnected and there were no language filters. Because of this, node operators would often lose interest and collapse their instances, so if you are a content creator, especially an English speaker, you probably lost your channel multiple times as only French and German instances really kept theirs up. It was just like anything in the Fediverse, an airplane being built while in flight. 3.0 is the first form of cohesive integration to make all nodes connected. During that dark age, people posted things there that YouTube wouldn't take, which is why there's so much trash. But to be honest, that's the beauty of PeerTube. Younger people don't remember this, but back in the late 90s and early 2000s, the internet had zero regulation. It was an insane mess. None whatsoever. But because we all know that, we were all way more skeptical and distrustful of things we found on the internet. It was only once Facebook decided to become a news platform with pay-per-click and no regulation, giving it the illusion of legitimacy, and YouTube's algorithm to make money just happened to turn itself into a Nazi, and you were 3 conservative videos away from Nazi videos, that people started to blindly trust stuff they saw on Facebook and passively absorb things posted on YouTube. With PeerTube 3.0, you have to go through and mute accounts you don't like, and possibly report them to your instance operator if you would like that node to be blocked, but more nodes are going to have to come online before there's enough choice for people to want to block an entire instance. PeerTube is really like the old internet, but worse, as all the great stuff at this point is on other sites and all the garbage goes there. That said, the way to fix that is to create better content on it and start new instances if you happen to have some technical skills. I was told by someone that the Fediverse is worse than Twitter or Facebook at suppressing free speech because the admins are all SJWs who block anyone. That's the thing, though. The great thing about the Fediverse is that you can't be banned from the Fediverse, only certain sections of it. You can start your own, or in many cases, you have way more options. Hell, Gab is now a Mastodon clone, and you can go there. Facebook and Twitter are their own universe, and you have to follow their rules. With the Fediverse, no one has to give you a platform, but you can create your own. I've run into a few issues with my own with admins. Until 3.0, the number of PeerTube platforms were so limited that attacking ideas such as religion was considered bullying people, so I got the boot multiple times. Mastodon is no different. I raised all the red flags of a troll apparently with my behavior, and after an angry letter, I was let back on once they realized my thought process. Once they explained what I had done, it made sense. It was something trolls did. Also, I was asked if I posted art to cite the artist. Otherwise, I was able to post anything I wanted. But then, I'm also not posting horrible stuff. People got mad in the comments that I referred to Gab as Nazi Twitter, because the philosophy is free speech no matter how terrible, and when no one wants to be around people who say terrible stuff, I hate to say it, but like PeerTube at the moment, you're just gonna get a bunch of Nazis and other human garbage. PeerTube has a lot of potential, lots, but at the moment it's a lot like old school internet, and you have to self-filter. Do not let your kids on it yet. I also have to go through and mute accounts of things I have zero interest in, such as, say, video gamers, time-lapse drawing stuff, and My Little Pony stuff. There's nothing wrong with these, they just aren't for me and aren't something I'm interested in at all. That's unfortunately how variety works. You have to self-filter, so there's enough for everyone. At a certain point, you'll be able to block certain words and phrases yourself. That's probably an upgrade with 4.0. Once enough instances exist, you will be able to join instances that block free speech instances to the point of letting Nazis post, and the experience will be much better. I just recently had to block one with David Duke. The way to make it better is by posting quality stuff. I personally have 2 instances on it. PeerTube.stream, which has all my main stuff, and watch.breadtube.tv, where I post leftist sympathetic videos, and have only gotten positive reviews so far from those. Even though I'm not a full-on lefty, I'm more left sympathetic, but I want them to understand how to better communicate so A, they can grow if their ideas really are as good as they say they are, and B, they can get to the point where they can explain it fully enough that all of my gaps and confusion are finally filled in, and I can carefully assess whether they are correct or their arguments have merit, but they are missing some key pieces. Much like when I swallowed libertarianism whole hog and realized later half of human history was purged from their calculations, and there was no step 2 before step 3, which was profits. Anyway, I digress. Basically, Peertube was a disparate mess of only the works of tech geeks, pirated videos, and conspiracy nuts, which just became connected and aware of each other fully for the first time, and it's a mess. However, it's a blank slate to post our own stuff there, and make it better. Until then, it will remain a mess. It's also self-forming and finding its feet, but we shall see how that goes in the future. Treat it like the original internet with heavy skepticism and a lot of personal filtering, and after a bit of work, it's kinda cool. But until we make stuff for it ourselves, it's not gonna be a fun place for quite a while.